Hi guys, welcome back to my channel Motion for Sim. In this video I want to give you an overview uh, of a new firmware version for my motion controller. It's version 3.1 now and it's a major update. And for this update there will be several videos. In these videos I'll show you the new motion cueing system, also the new hardware timers for the new PCB. And in this video I first will give you an overview over the new features of the new firmware. Well, after you have flashed the new firmware onto the controller, you start the controller as normal, and after firmware update you have to urgently do a factory reset, either for rotating actuators, for linear actuators, or now is also for the MySimKit users a special factory reset so that the MySimKit values are pre-installed in the controller. And I will do this one now, and then the controller reboots and all values are set correctly for the new firmware. Okay, when you then push the button, the controller starts normal operation, and the main new input feature is the double click function of the encoder button. And on the main screen, if you use it, you can switch between the new motion cueing system, the main output filter values, and the main spike filter values, so you can set up them fastly. And double click again, you are on the main scaling for the master gain. And if you single push the button, you get into the menu as usual, and there are the function you know. Okay, there is some additional feature in the setup menu, and here is now a hardware pulsing setup menu for new PCBs. I come later to this point in one of the next videos. And then there's a additional function. You can enter the bootloader mode from the setup menu, and for this you have first to plug the micro USB connector to the data port where you do the flashing of the firmware, and start the controller with the data port, then enter the setup menu and use this point, and the controller reboots into bootloader mode. This is because some users have problems entering the bootloader, and now it's easy to get into this mode. Okay. After setup, the rig menu comes, and here the new motion menu. You also could enter with the double click from the main screen. Well, I will give you a short overview now of the new motion cueing systems. For this system, it's completely scripted. I show you in the dashboard later. And here on the handheld, you can choose from different profiles you did. You can rename the profiles with the dashboard, and there are now 4 profiles to be stored, and I will choose this one. Then there's an option to enable and disable the whole system. If it's off, it works in the kinematics mode of the controller as normal, and if it's on, it uses the internal motion cueing algorithm to calculate the pose. So you will get raw data from mover, from the games, unmodified, unscaled, and I'll show you in next videos how to set up this. It's completely easy. There's a template. You only have to add the source in mover, and that's all. In this menu you can choose which axis should be enabled in the controller. Mostly is this for testing, and you have all axes enabled. Then there is a global scaling. It modifies all the gain filters in the single axis, and also the smooth is global here, and it modifies all the low pass, the emal filters, and for the washout it modifies all the high pass emal HP filters in the filter strings. Okay, then we have auto gain feature. I will show you in next videos. You enter this with a button, and when data is coming, it scales automatically to 5% of the actuator. Not of the actuator, of the motion, of the possible motion range of your rig. It's calculated from your inserted rig geometry, and you can modify this with the encoder fastly. And if you hit the button, you can switch over to scaling the rotational part, and press the button again, you can scale the translational part. And autotune works fine. I will show you later in another video. And if you are ready with autotune, you can double click and coming back, and after that you can set up each single axis for motion. And in this case I will take roll. You will enter this and then scale it with the encoder. Hit the button. You can modify the emal filters of this axis. Hit the button, and you can modify the washout, the high pass filters of this axis. Double click and you're going back. So you can set up each axis for itself, and if you do this, motion is on and all the other axes are disabled, so you can only feel the axis you are tuning, and this works fine. And here is another option. In these options you enter, when you hit this option, you enter the autotune mode, and if you're ready, double click. You are in this way, ready, double click, set up search and do your settings, and double click, it jumps to heave, and so you're going through the whole system, all axes, and set each one after another. And this you can do only because you know if you enter the next menu with a double click, the first option is to scale. Hit a single button, the smooth, and hit a single button, the washout. And only this axis is enabled in motion. And if you're ready with this axis, double click and you will get to the next setup. After this, you're coming to save the motion pose, then you hit the button and your profile is ready. Okay, then here is a reset motion pose. You can reset to the saved values before you save. If you want to missing words, okay, doesn't matter. Okay, that's the new motion menu in the handheld, and that's it. Now I will show you how it works with the dashboard. And for this you opened the configuration screen and choose the filter tab. And here you can see you have the buttons for reloading, save the filters and restore to standard. Here you can choose your profile and maybe give it another name, or you copy the string or modify it and the system is actually supporting only the basic filters, the logistic, the low pass MALP filter and the high pass MHP filter, the gain filter, and if you only insert value into the line, it gets the value unfiltered. Yes, it's I tried to have compatibility with the mover post system, and so you can copy paste the filter string and insert back into mover after you've done your autotune and set up the system with the handheld. You can copy paste the values from here to mover back. So if we restore the standard, so you can enable disable access here and enable the whole system, or change the name of it. And after you load another motion profile, you have to click the save button, so the whole system is saved to the controller. Here on the downside of this page all are the old output filters, and have to reload all the values. Okay, that was okay. That's it. Thank you for watching. In next video I will show you the motion cueing system in action, especially the autotune system. And thank you for watching. Bye.